Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, gonna be reviewing another one of my all-time favorite Disney Pixar films. Now, of course, as you all know, number 1 being Monsters, Inc., number 2, The Incredibles, number 3, Toy Story 2, number 4, Monsters University, number 5, Brave, number 6, Ratatouille, number 7, A Bug's Life, number 8, Toy Story 3, number 9, Inside Out, and number 10, Finding Nemo. Well, and now for number 11, it's The Incredibles 2. It's pretty obvious, because even when I first said The Incredibles, you knew exactly what I was talking about, and that is The Incredibles 2. So, yeah, The Incredibles 2, what can I say about The Incredibles 2? It is a really good film and a good sequel to The Incredibles. I mean, of course, everybody, including myself, we've always wanted to see an Incredibles 2. There were some people who were expecting for the sequel to be like, maybe it would be a few years later or something. We'd see Violet and Dash a bit grown up, now teenagers in high school, and etc. And Dash a bit older, and him like able to use his powers, etc. Well, actually, because for the sequel, it literally takes place after it picks up where we left off in the first film, pretty much. And like, I love the opening because like with the first one, because the music that plays and such, Michael Giacchino, like, he's fantastic and such. And the way and with the castle logo and Pixar, it's all red and the Incredibles feel to it, really good. I freaking love it. Also, like, the opening, like, we see Rick Dicker and Tony Reidinger. It's funny, just a little bit similar, like a little bit of reference and such, like from Jack Attacks, state your name please, etc. Tony Reidinger explains what happened in his point of view of everything that was going on, and like she sees Violet in the suit, etc. as she takes off the mask. Like, Tony gets out of there because I guess it's a bit awkward, and he kind of says that he should have said something, etc. And yet Rick Dicker pulls out that machine, that machine that he uses to wipe out people's memories. And like Tony Reidinger, as he says, I just wish I could forget the whole thing, the thing that happened, etc. And like, Rick Dicker, you will, kid. It lands on him, etc., the plunger, and like, you will. And of course, the Incredibles music plays, we see the logo, and we cut right to Mr. Incredible as he's underground because of the Underminer. And the Underminer, because, consider yourself undermined! Ah, ha, ha! A bit of some explosions goes off, and then, he accidentally sucks up Mr. Incredible because he's sucking up the money and such in the bank, like, oh, great, now he's under agenda, however he says. And of course, like, the Underminer gets away. They're having trouble trying to stop his undermining machine, that is. Frozone comes in. They cause a bit of damage. Frozone gets out of there. The police, they arrest the Incredibles. And also, because Rick Dicker's there as well, and they're actually, because of their house being destroyed, etc., after the first film, as it's mentioned in there, because of the jet and such, Syndrome's jet that destroyed it. They're staying at a motel with the help of Rick Dicker and such. And he said that, and Rick Dicker, as he says, only has 2 weeks for, to help them and such, and they shut down, and as Rick Dicker explains to Helen and Bob, like, the program's been shut down, etc., and of course, like, that scene where they're eating, I think, Chinese food and such, and that hilarious scene, because did you wash your hands with soap, It's funny. We see, of course, Lucius / Frozone. And basically, because Lucius tells them that, we're being asked to meet somebody, and, I forget his name, but the one who wants to help bring superheroes back and make them, make them legally super again, like, legally help and such, And so, and like, Violet, well, no, not Violet, Helen slash Elastigirl gets is being asked to help to do something, and to do the job first, before, like, say, Mr. Incredible and Lucius, and yet Bob's kind of a bit jealous and such and upset because he wants to do the hero stuff, etc., and also, and throughout, like, the whole movie, because Helen being the one, doing the superhero stuff, and also Bob staying at home, being a family man, like, etc., being the father, staying at home, taking care of the kids, etc., and yeah, pretty good stuff to it, and that cool scene with Elastigirl chasing down the monorail, because it's going backwards and such, and her on her Elastabike and such, and that moment where Dash calls his mom, it's funny. And also, because, with Bob, Violet, Dash, and Jack, and oh yes, those hilarious parts, those moments with Jack, hilarious, definitely. Jack pretty much almost steals the movie. I mean, it's not just Jack that's the best part. Everything about the movie's fantastic. Not just Jack, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like that sequence of Jack facing off against the raccoon, it's hilarious, definitely. He turns into flames, uses the lasers, triplets of him, clones of him. Even, like, say when he turns to, like, squash or gooey stuff, you get what I'm saying? It's funny. And even that part where, yeah, it's funny, because, like, Bob just, like, didn't get enough sleep or anything. And even those moments in the film with, like, Violet and Tony, there are moments in the film, and, like, Violet goes on to, like, because she's supposed to go on a date with Tony, and, of course, later on we see, because, like, he never showed up, and she's upset. We see at one point, like, she's only herself is invisible, like her face and entire body is, and only her clothes are seen, and yet she goes and gets a tub of ice cream, and also, what else? Oh yeah, because even when Violet meets up with Tony at the school, and, like, yeah, and, like, it's a bit upsetting at first, but we find out later, because as Bob slips out his mouth. And, of course, with, because Violet, she just, like, she's in the kitchen, such living room, like, boys are jerks, etc. And Bob, as I said, Bob, like, slips it out of his mouth because of Dicker, like, wiping Tony's memory and such, and Violet just going on a rampage and such, trying to destroy her suit, like, put it in the garbage disposal and just tossing it, etc. It's funny. And then later on, Dash and Violet discover Jack his powers, and, like, Bob gets a little bit, a bit of a rampage or something, just, like, meltdown and such, stressed out. And, like, even Dash, because he sneezes and goes flying, he goes flying once again, and, like, Bob runs out and such, breaks the glass door, lands in the pool to catch Jack. They go in the pool. It's funny. And, of course, Violet because one point Violet says, I'm calling Lucius. Lucius comes in. Lucius discovers Jack his powers, just like, what the? Oh my god, it's like, yum yum cookie, etc. Jack turns into the monster, It's funny. Of course, Edna Mode. We of course get the appearance of Edna Mode in the film. Bring Jack, Miss Bob / Mr. Incredible bringing Jack in, I guess, and like asks Edna if he could leave Jack here, etc. And then, like, as Edna discovers the superpowers he has, and, like, Jack even has the ability of, like, looking like Edna or anybody else, if you get what I'm saying. And it's funny, it definitely is, and, like, Edna's like, oh my god, yes, you could come in and check, darling, etc., or however. And with Elastigirl, like, she gets to meet more superheroes, superpowers. Like, one can vomit lava, One is like an owl kind of creature, like a bird. One with like electric kind of stuff, and Crusher, yeah, and Phil LaMarr voices the Crusher actually, and one who can like make portals or something. I forget her name. I think it's Void. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Void. I think so, yeah. You guys let me know in the comments if I'm correct, but yeah. So of course the Screenslaver, of course, like. As we see in the film, like Elastigirl defeating, like stopping and catching the Screenslaver, and it turns out because actually, what's his face's sister turns out to be the actual villain, and she created the character of Screenslaver, and the Screenslaver was actually because when the Screenslaver's unmasked, of course, you know, because he says something like, "What's going on? What is blah blah blah." Like, he's kind of confused such, and it turns out because he was just a regular guy, ordinary pizza delivery guy, used to be the body and such of the Screenslaver, and yet inside his mask, you know, because it hypnotized him, etc. So, yeah. And of course, like, Mr. Incredible gets called in, puts on the glasses to, you know, hypnotize him. The superheroes who've been hypnotized and such with those goggles/glasses, they come in. Lucius tries to stop them, but of course Lucius gets captured and the goggles/glass. I'm just calling it glasses. They get put on him. Now he's now he's hypnotized as well. Now it's only the kids that have to do the hero stuff. Violet, Dash, and Jack. And so they, of course, Dash, he got his hands on the Incredimobile. Yeah, the Incredimobile, as it's called. And then, of course, you know, Lucius, Bob, Helen, they get unhypnotized. So do the other superheroes. And, of course, they stop the boat and such that's about to crash into the town, the city. What's-her-face gets defeated and arrested. And all superheroes are now legally to help and such, you know, and the epilogue and / the ending, because Violet and Tony going on a date and such to the movies, you know, and the rest of her family tagging along as well, you know, and like, I think, yeah, Bob says, you know, we'll be sitting in the back, etc., you know. And what's really cool is that at the movie theater, you see on the sign, the movie that's showing, like, A113 is there. Get it, you know? And I love that Violet gets the last line, gets the last words of the film. That's nice, you know. That's really good. And of course, because, you know, robbers go driving past, and of course, you know, the music playing, like, you know, duty calls, etc. As the like car goes right towards the camera, boom, the logo shows, the music plays, and that style of credits like in the first one, etc. The Incredibles is fantastic. The Incredibles 2. It's a really good Disney Pixar film, and for it being a great sequel to The Incredibles. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, the end credits, I guess there's a little tease because the Underminer's still underground and such, you know. And even at the end of the film, because in memory of dedicated and in memory of Bud Lucky, if you guys remember seeing that. Now, when I saw that in theaters, I remember when that came up, I did applaud for that. Of course, because it's freaking Bud Lucky. He was, of course, big part of the Incredibles family, you know, and yet he sadly never got to be the voice. He never got to do the voice of Rick Dicker in the second one, but I forget who it was that voiced him. But you know, I guess because with Bud Lucky, because he was unable to do voice work or anything else like that. But you know, it's a bit of a shame. But you know, but what's his face who did Rick Dicker? He did good. He did a good job. So you know, but anyways. So, once again, The Incredibles 2, it's a really good sequel, a fantastic Disney Pixar film, and I just love it. And you guys let me know what you think of The Incredibles 2. And for The Incredibles 2, well, I give it pretty much 10 out of 10 stars. It's a fantastic, as I said, a fantastic sequel and a fantastic Disney Pixar film. Just definitely. So anyway, so again, 10 out of 10 stars for The Incredibles 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review video. Take care, and peace out.